what we can consider petty, rather, yes, the declaration of petty offences, we can look at aid and disorder. So it is about the nature and not the value. Because yes, from that research, you may find that I value this pen more, now that will be kept. It will not be a petty offence. But also just to comment on that, the Commission is privileged to be a member of the Community Service Committee and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. That act currently, as I speak, is being effectively implemented in all the districts of Uganda. We do monitor the districts from the level of the cow up to the magistrates. Now the magistrates are monitored on how many persons they convict from community service. And partly, as my colleague has mentioned, the purpose of community service is to assist, is for those who would have been sentenced to a prison term of less than 2 years to be given a chance to reform. Let me put it like that, to be given a chance to reform. Because we all know once they go into prison, they may become something.
And the 48-hour rule assumes police can efficiently gather evidence, track down witnesses, and compile case file quickly. In practice, Uganda police suffer from severe underfunding, logistical constraints such as lack of transport for the field work. Sometimes you go to police, you have a suspect that you need to be arrested, taken to police, and police is asking for transport. And if you don't have the transport to take this person to the police station, then this person will not be arrested. That has been the case. Now, of course, at the same time, I don't agree in the idea of having the suspect beyond 48 hours at the police station. So I think we need to make some reforms, and the reforms that I would recommend. For example, before the suspect is arrested, why can't police carry out investigation?
For Uganda Law Reform Commission to consider, for example, when it comes to persons arrested when they are maybe doing their work. For example, in my district of Kampala, there are people who are arrested, like maybe the hawkers, the street vendors, such people. They are not being arrested because they have stolen, but they are trying to make ends meet, and maybe they are doing it in a wrong way or in a wrong place. I don't know whether you have thought about such people not being taken to court and even remanded, and maybe there's an alternative that we can think there, that maybe when they are got, they are taken somewhere and maybe mediation, and then maybe they are talked to and sensitized, and maybe if they pay a small fine without recourse to court or prison, that can also help to decongest. But also, whether Uganda Law Reform Commission has thought about the involvement of Uganda Police Force in terms of mediating suspects, that is, if it is, it can be applicable anywhere or a department in the Uganda Police Force or
offenders. And I also want to mention that the Commission is actually doing a lot of work with the police that we believe in the long run will help decongest prisons. Last financial year, we worked on a project on Identification of Offenders Act. So those are some of the laws that may help. For instance, if these offenders are identified and you know they are first offenders, you may not necessarily take them through the entire process. But partly the challenge I believe that we have in the system is that you have people who commit offenses, and even if you sensitize them and you tell them about the benefits, for instance, of community service, because for you to join the community service program, you must accept.
Oh.
Now, you're not forced. Someone who says, I did not steal that one chicken, cannot be forced to join the program. The program is for people who accept, those who plead guilty. At times you explain to them, but most of the criminals that we have are what we term as the hardcore or repeat offenders. So those ones, yes, have also been, because the committee will sit on the representatives from the High Court, from the police, from prisons. So we are also trying to work out a way of how such criminals can be assisted. Someone has committed an offense and they would be eligible to a minor, let me call it a minor penalty. But because of their nature, they insist and end up staying in prison for so long, congesting the prison. So some of those challenges also do exist in our society. But the recommendations are welcome, my colleagues have noted, and I believe it's something that we'll take on.
From the Uganda Law Reform Commission. However, I have a question that has really been beating my mind, and I'm so happy that today you've tackled the issue of delays. We have lawyers who are really frustrated, and yet formerly when we were growing up, they would say you have to become a lawyer. But now I see it as a point of frustration. You know, somebody gets so frustrated, and we nearly lost a sister who was at Uganda Christian University, who had to undergo very many processes, not even knowing that this person's brain is not yet matured to contain the stress. I really hope that this society must be in position to do something. Then secondly, I'm so concerned about the issues of the law, which is changing day and night. Well, you find every day they've amended the law. This same law has been re-amended. The second day they are amending. So that means the lawyers of long time ago will not be in position to know what the law is. Am I right here, or does it mean that if you started your law 30 years ago, you will not be a lawyer, a current lawyer? So I really need guidance from there. Thank you very much.
Yes, for us who represent rural constituencies. And now that we are talking about the parish involvement, normally what we witness in our constituencies are not those big effects. We have people who get PDM, use 50,000, and there are some people who languish their gamble the night they break into their and take away. I want to understand. We are members of our house, and you are saying you want to criminalize you promote justice.
Who went and I think he was arrested of going before the judge without his what PC, yet actually he had finished long time ago and he's not been able to enroll, and yet now and I don't know whether it's deliberate to frustrate the lawyer or the advocate, because for a person who has gone through all that and wants to survive, because lawyers they have clients, at the same time, they want to also survive. So we need to look into that, and I'd like you to give me an answer, a solution on what possible way we can move forward. Then, of course, they do a renewal. I think it's a yearly renewal. Why is it a yearly renewal? I think you also need to look and see, why do we renew every year? Can't we give them more time? Please guide my mind on that. So, should the same institution be involved in regulation? Law counsel as regulator versus operator. Should the same institution be involved in regulation, discipline, supervision, and admission or enrollment of advocates? Should the same institution be involved in regulation, discipline, supervision, and admission or enrollment of advocates?
DPP had case backlogs, a lot of case backlogs. And that is why we thought then that the best way of starting to deal with case backlog and making sure that people don't stay, or cases don't stay in the system for too long, was to identify petty offences, have them handled by community service, for example. Yeah. But it does not mean that the intention of the law